Are you looking for answers to the unknown? Welcome to Live with medium Lisa Phoenix and step into the magical presence of the metaphysical realm. Lisa will share the wisdom and musings from her own experiences, have intriguing conversations with other mediums and healers, in addition to exploring a wide array of topics and teachings on intuitive and mediumship development. Lisa will be taking your calls and inviting your friends and loved ones in the spirit world to share their stories with us. Raise your awareness as you are reunited on the level of love, and let's go live with medium Lisa Phoenix.
Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. It's a okay day in Southern California today. Welcome to Live with Lisa Phoenix Radio. I'm Lisa Phoenix, your host, a medium and energy intuitive. My show is all about healing, mediumship, and energy management. And my special guest this morning is Tracy Dunblazer, spiritual empath, teacher, and author. We're going to talk about a variety of topics this morning, but most of them are related to mindfulness. So if you want to share some of your own challenges or ask questions about your own specific journey, please feel free to go to my website, lisaphoenix.net, and you can post on mine or Tracy's Facebook page. If you want further information about the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show, please visit my website, lisaphoenix.net. That's lisaphoenix.net. I would also love it if you would go to my website once again and sign up for my Intuitive Insights newsletter, which will also add you to my mailing list. And please like me on Facebook. Now, all about Tracy. Tracy Dunblazer, spiritual empath, shaman, educator, and spiritual counselor, is based in Los Angeles, California. Tracy specializes in grief counseling, energy dynamics, intuitive counseling, shamanic healing, space clearings, past life regression, soul recovery, and transition strategy. In 2005, Tracy founded It's Time, ITZTIME, to offer resources, education, and strategies for other practitioners as well as those just embarking on their spiritual path. Tracy's website is www.tracydunblazer.com. That's TRACEEDUNBLAZIER.com, which I suggest you visit to get a better picture of what this amazing woman is all about. Tracy, good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm good today. I'm great. How are you?
I am too. It is, I hate to brag. I don't know what the rest of the country is doing.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Have you been searching for a perspective beyond the mainstream? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold Holland on Share International Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us at shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for.
Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Tracy Dunblazer. So, Tracy, take us into the journey as far as mindfulness relating to relationships.
Okay. So, mindfulness is in relationships is applying that same awareness to the process of participating in your relationship, whether it's a platonic relationship, a dating relationship, or a partnership. It's essentially being a witness for them and allowing them to witness your life for you. And the idea here is that you don't struggle with witnessing someone's life, that you allow yourself, oftentimes in relationships, and especially romantic relationships, right? We have such struggle because, well, I want them to be a particular way, or I want them to say particular things or do specific things. And if they don't do those things, then they don't love me, right? We have a tendency to naturally take personally what another person is doing. And when we take something personally, it's because when we bring what someone else does back around to ourselves, it's not telling us about them, and it's not telling us about the relationship that we have with them. It's telling us something about ourselves. And mindfulness is the willingness to witness what it's telling you about yourself.
Can you give us an example of that?
Yes, I can. So, let's see. Let's say you're in a situation where you have a friendship or a partnership or whatever, and you are going to meet for coffee, and you show up, and your friend is in a really bad mood. Mm. And we've all had that, right? Mm-hmm. So they're in a really bad mood, and your first instinct is to say, "Well, what's wrong with you?" Right? Or what's happening with you? What's going on? Well, I didn't do anything. Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything to make you mad. Why are you mad?
Right.
Right? It's a natural response to be offended or to defend an emotional experience, because when we come together with people, we share their energy. Right? And as an empath, that's a natural thing that you are conscious of every day.
Right.
Everybody has that experience every day. They just may not have the same level of acute awareness about what they feel all the time. So your defense or offense is a way that your unconscious mind lets you know that you are taking on something from your partner. There's a really important thing to remember. We do not take things on that we don't start with in the first place. If you and I, Lisa, get together and you're having a really bad day, and let's say you're angry about something, mm-hmm. I have to already be angry somewhere about something in order to take that on from you, our energies have to resonate.
Gotcha.
If I don't have anger, I'm better able to say, oh, wow, how are you feeling today? Are you having a frustrating day? What happened? Right? Rather than saying, why are you mad at me? Right? If I immediately start out with, gosh, why are you mad at me? That means my unconscious mind is trying to bring to my attention that I'm already angry. I brought as much anger to the situation as you did, but mine is unconscious. So I'm perceiving it as you and your problem.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yes. And being mindful.
Being mindful is, in that situation, let's say I have anger, you show up angry, and I go, wow, she's very angry, and I don't say any of this. I become mindful. I pay attention to, wow, I feel really angry. Why am I angry? What are these feelings coming up? What are they related to? The more I allow myself to just have the thought, it leads to another thought and another thought and another thought. And what will happen is, let's say my situation, gosh, I'm feeling very angry. Why am I angry? Well, I'm angry because 2 days ago, I got in a fight with somebody and I didn't say what I wanted to say. And so now I perceive her anger, and now I really want to say something, but it's really not about her, it's about them. And so, gosh, I really need to go back into that situation and address an issue with that person. Oh, okay, that's great. Wow. Well, gosh, I feel so much better realizing that. And then I can finally, in the real world, go, wow, Lisa, how are you feeling today? Are you having a bad day? Right? Through all of that process, I've gone through this whole experience in my head, in my mind, in my heart. And once I'm completed with that, I can actually be present to you and make our relationship in that moment about what you need instead of what I need.
Gotcha.
And it's the willingness to have those experiences, feelings, thoughts, without expression of them, without having to say, gosh, what's going on with you? What's your problem today? Right? Because oftentimes when we already have feelings, we present those feelings, and then it seems like I'm getting mad at you or taking out my feelings on you when you're not in a position to be able to relate to that.
Gotcha.
Right? Because you got your own thing going on.
Gotcha. And so how do you deal with it when, say, in a relationship, one person's being mindful and one person isn't?
Well, the whole point of being mindful is that you say, wow, I'm really in my mind. You say it to yourself, wow, I'm really being mindful, and they're not in the same place that I am. Good to know. My response, my tagline, and I use this in the book, it's one of my taglines in the book, The Demon Slayer's Handbook, is good to know. There's a point in your spiritual process where you have to relate to everything with, okay, good to know. You know, wow, there was just a windstorm and it blew my tree over onto my house. Huh, good to know. Wow, I have a lot of anger about that. Good to know. Wow, I'm really worried about how I'm going to financially be able to fix those things. Okay, good to know. You know, or wow, I see that person and I really like them. Wow, good to know.
Okay, but can you explain that?
It's about recognizing everything in your life, for a lack of a better way to say this, without the drama, right? And we also, a few weeks ago, we talked about drama equals pain.
Right.
So if you're being dramatic, it's because there is pain underlying whatever you're feeling. So it's accepting the feelings that you have without condition.
Gotcha.
You know, you are no less of an amazing human being because you're in pain. You're no better of a human being because you're in pain. You are just a full-fledged human being, and you currently happen to be in pain. And when you say, wow, I'm in pain right now, the next thing is that's the forward movement that leads you to, okay, well, what do I need to not be in pain? And what do I need to get those things? And what actions do I need to take to fulfill that for myself?
Gotcha.
Right? So it's if when the ideas, thoughts, and feelings come, that you just allow them to move through you while staying present in the moment. Knowing that whatever these thoughts and feelings are, that they're not an indication that, bad things are going to happen. Right? When you are present in the situation, if in fact something bad is going to happen, you're going to be more prepared and physically present to make a quick decision to avert any bad thing coming your way by being present than you will be in the process of grief.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right? Because when you are grieving something, you're in the past. You're in the previous moment, which is your if something happened 10 years, but I'm still grieving it today, it's still my present moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so if I'm present to that, it allows me to be, I'm sitting here on my couch. It allows me to be present and to use the resources that I have around me to make another choice.
Gotcha. So
in relationships, people oftentimes become aware of things that are going on within them that they're consciously aware of because of what another person does. So one of the things I talk about is accomplishment. The idea of accomplishment in mindfulness is the mindfulness of thought. And it's good to have issues, but great to understand them. In each one of us, we have a profound constellation of interacting feelings, thoughts, spiritual and biological patterns, and learned impressions, right? A lot of times the spiritual patterns that we have are things that we have taken on in childhood from our parents or our family or our neighbors, right?
Yes.
Paying close enough attention to those yourself to recognize what are yours allows you to witness another person without judgment, right? And so judgment means that you're not criticizing or antagonizing, but that you go, oh, okay, that's what you have going on, and this is what my relationship to that thing is. I like to talk about, for some reason, whenever I talk about this, I think of a polka dotted dress. And seeing a woman wearing a polka dotted dress and going, oh my God, what an ugly dress. And then I think to myself, well, that's not an ugly dress for her. She's fabulous in that dress. I don't like polka dots. For whatever reason, I don't like them. And I wouldn't wear that dress. I just learned something new about myself.
Gotcha.
Right? When we notice something about someone else, whether we react negatively or positively, it's telling us something about ourselves, not about the person.
Gotcha. And we're about to take another commercial break. Stay tuned with us, everybody. You're listening to Live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Tracy Dunblazer, and we'll be right back.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Hi, this is Julie Geigel.
I'm Maggie Chula.
And I'm Catherine Glass.
And we're the Psychic Angel Channelers. Join us every week here on OMTimes Radio for Angel Talk Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
The angels have heard your call and are here to help.
Are you ready to receive?
Remember your magnificence with Angel Talk Tuesday.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Tracy Dunblazer. Tracy, so can you help us out and let us know, say, we want to have a more mindful relationship. Can you help us, start on that path?
Yeah, the bringing balance and mastery to your own emotional relationship to yourself and recognizing what the purpose of your emotions are. Emotions begin to bring spiritual energy, and what I mean by that is really fast frequency, reverberating energy, right? It's going so fast that we can't, it comes in pictures, thoughts, or words, but it hasn't really become physical yet. Emotion is the first experience of our spiritual patterns becoming physical because they become emotional and they begin to engage with our biology and then our physical body. So my tagline for this, and this is a good one to write down, is fear and distrust leave as easily as they come.
That is good.
Fear comes and then it goes if you let it. Distrust comes, right? Because if you don't trust somebody or yourself, to allow yourself to feel that distrust, to acknowledge that you don't trust, then begs the next question, which is, why not? What are they doing? What am I doing? What's really going on with them, right? Oftentimes, we don't trust people when we sense their duality, right? Which means they're conflicted about something within themselves. Oftentimes, especially in romantic relationships, but even in friendships, a lot of people have, say, issues with their same-sex partners. And I'm not talking about sexual orientation here. I'm talking about women with women and men with men, because our relationship with our same-sex parent is one of our most powerful and vital relationships. And based on how that worked out for you growing up is how you're going to relate to other women or other men in your life. So we find this a lot, that maybe we distrust people because we sense their own duality. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
We sense that they let's say you meet somebody like a coworker, and you know how when you start, a new coworker comes on to the job and you become friends, it's really easy to become fast friends, right? And there's somebody new and they're exciting, and then all of a sudden 3 weeks later you're like, oh, I can't stand them.
Right.
Right? Because you like what you like in yourself when you first meet them, and then they start to show you their duality. And you might be witnessing somebody that, they don't trust people very well because they've been hurt in the past, right? Mm-hmm. And that has nothing to do with you. You don't know them. You know them for 3 weeks, so it's not about you. And so fear and distrust leave as easily as they come. This is the time to remind yourself that, it's not about me. It's not about me. No matter what it is, even if they want to make it about me, it's not about me. So then what is it about? Right? Mindfulness is always moving forward in the mental and emotional conversation and not allowing your emotions to move you into an action or a word, something that becomes physical that may be more difficult to take back. A thought that you can have it and let it go. But it doesn't create something in the physical world. It's only when you have a thought and then you say a bad word, or you have a thought and you take a negative action. right? Either towards yourself or someone else. Those things, while they can be reconciled, takes a lot more work to reconcile them than it does a thought.
Gotcha. And so you recently wrote an article on mindfulness and mindful relationships, and you bring up, and I know you've already covered some of them here, but you bring up 5 points. Do you want to share those with us?
Yes. So the first two that we've covered is accomplishment, which is mindfulness of thought, determination, which is mindfulness of emotion. The next one would be peace. And this is a big one, especially in any kind of partnering. The mindfulness of desire. Wanting is good. Wanting what you have is magnificent. Okay? It's being willing to, being mindful means you've considered what your partner, the partner that you want to have, and it also means that you don't attach yourself to that list that you've created. That you fully accept what's happening and allowing the understanding and value of what you're actually attracting to meet the awareness of your deeper need to attract that.
Yeah, because most people create those lists because they are already attached to what they're creating. Right. And it's important when you write it out, that's a way of allowing the thought to move forward and out. Right. Instead of getting stuck. Yeah. What I like to do, and this is a great, really a fun thing to do, and it people may have a response to it, but you write your list and then burn it. And the burning of that list said, yes, it is already done. Right? That is your agreement to yourself that, yes, I am asking for the highest and best of all things for myself, the things that are the best thing for me. Right? Whatever that is, whatever I'm calling on the best thing for me. And so what is then comes into my world is the best thing for me at that time. That may not be someone that I want to stay with for long term, but it's going to be the relationship, person, place, or thing that is going to move me forward. Right. And would eventually lead you. Exactly. It'll lead you to being the person that you love so much that you can then have mirrored in another human being for you. Right. Right. You know, I find that, we're going to, a lot of people, but a lot of men, this is a stereotype about men. It may not be true for every man, but men are physically oriented. They like what they see, and what they see is very valuable to them. Right. And so the guy who wants, say, the blonde girlfriend, right? But he keeps attracting brunettes. Right. Right. Yeah. That experience is going to help him to expand what his ideas are about that, and then look at what it is that he's receiving and why that clearly is more valuable to him than what he thought. Right. It has nothing to do with the blonde or the brunette. It has everything to do with what his illusions are about what that means. Exactly. Right? Yes. So, the mindfulness of desire, the next one is power. It's the mindfulness of reaction. Taking action is good. Choosing that action is awesome. It's the ability to see what you want to do and then make a choice to do it or not. You know, in today's political climate. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! We're not going there, but yes. No, I'm not going to go there fully. I know. I'm just. Everybody can identify with being on Facebook or social media and not knowing. Like I didn't know I knew this many Republicans. And there are people out there saying, oh my God, I did not know I knew that many liberals or Democrats or independents. Like, how do I know these people? They're not like me, right? Right. It's so easy to get so caught up in that. And oh my God, I get so fueled and I feel so strongly the desire to say what I think. Yep. But luckily, I'm at a point in my evolution where I am able to laugh about it and then do nothing. And meaning what I mean by that, I'm not saying to
be ineffective, but you have to choose your battles, and you have to be conscientious of entering into a battle that you are going to follow through till the end, until there is peaceful resolution. Right? The goal in doing battle is not to create karma, which is a reaction to the action you've taken. It is about to enter into it to the point at which that you get to a point where things are peaceful and there's nowhere else to go, and it is actually complete. Right? That's the ultimate end all be all goal.
Yep.
Is to get to a place of peace. And that is what power is. We have the ability to use our energy where we can be the most effective. And if you can't be effective in a situation, you are powerful just being present in it. Does that resonate with you, just being present in it?
Yes.
Right? Which means you are sitting there, you're not saying anything, but just your presence emits your ideology. And whoever's ideology is more peaceful is going to be more powerful in the situation. And so staying connected to the situation, but being effective by not, if you're not willing to have the whole conversation, then just be present and don't have it, but know your presence is profoundly valuable and powerful. Right? Not everybody has the energy to enter in to certain conversations with certain people who we feel are not going to be open to our thoughts and ideas.
Right.
Right. And if you're standing in that place where you don't have the energy, and it would be a waste of your energy, pearls before swine. Right. Although I don't know why people say that, because swine are lovely and they're really very clean, and I'm sure would completely enjoy a beautiful string of pearls. That's I digress.
Yes.
When you offer people something that you're certain that their energy is not open for at the time, unconsciously, because you are present in the situation, they're open on a spiritual level. And so being present to that and owning that and not needing to push your agenda or opinion is incredibly powerful.
Yes. Now, how do people be mindful, like when they're in situations where, like you said earlier, somebody's angry and they come in the room and they're angry because, say, maybe they didn't speak their whatever in some other relationship or whatever. But in this one too, they know, like you just said, that there would be nothing, they would not be able to speak their piece as well. How do they do that? Like, kind of resolve it within themselves when they can't speak up. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so do you want to leave it on that note, and we'll be right back after the
that's
commercial
perfect.
break?
Pick up there.
Okay, stay tuned, everybody. You're listening to Live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Tracy Dunglaser. We'll be right back.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
What if living didn't have to be so serious?
What if you could move beyond your problems with greater confidence and ease than you've ever imagined?
Throw your labels out the window and join the Irreverent Therapist for practical tips and a very different way of approaching the changes you would like to create.
Marilyn Bradford
and Pam Hodling
have empowered hundreds of people to come out of self-judgment, quit looking to experts, and begin to create the lives they desire.
Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Irreverent Therapist Show.
Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com.
Live with Medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
The cutting edge of conscious radio, OMTimes Radio, IOM-FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Tracy Dunblazer. Tracy.
Yes, so let me see if I can break down that scenario as succinctly.
And again, I'm only saying this because I'm just thinking of things. That's a big one for people.
Yeah.
Is not speaking up. And I'm only saying this because even though we're talking about it, I think because some people have practiced doing things in a completely different way for so long, I think it's hard sometimes to transition.
Absolutely. So this is the self conversation that one must have.
Gotcha.
If you're in a situation where you don't feel like that you are in a situation where you cannot speak up. Mm-hmm. That's not the truth. You can speak up, and you have to be accountable for that. That leaves you with two options. One is, I don't want to speak up because I don't want to go through the energetic and emotional struggle with this person all the way until the end, as long as it takes to find peace. I don't want to do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. That could be 5 hours from now. I am not going to do that. Therefore, I am going to say, well, then if you're here and you don't want to do that, then it's powerful for you just being here. And you are holding the space for people who want to engage in a different way. You're holding the space for them to have that option. The other option is, that's option one, and option B, or option two, is that, you know what? I am going to enter into this conversation, and I'm going to dig in, and I'm going to sit down at the table, and I'm going to get myself a whole meal and a cup of coffee, and I'm going to sit with you as long as it takes, because I'm not going to leave. I am not going to leave. I'm going to stay here in this situation, in this conversation, until we resolve it into a peaceful acknowledgement of either we agree to disagree or I'm right. Right? And that's the commitment. That's the commitment you have to have. We're either going to get to a peaceful negotiation of, you know what, we just disagree on the points. Okay, great. Then we both are prepared to move on. There is no karma. I have left you and you have left me and we are complete. Right? Or, right? I want to swing you to my way of thinking, and this is why, and I'm not going to stop until I do.
Gotcha.
right? But you have to have that level of commitment. And that's the thing most people don't have the time, energy, or essence for, right? Or commitment to, is I'm going to stay here until it's done. Right? Most people just don't want to enter into, I'm going to stay here until it's done. And then they feel bad because they didn't get to say what they wanted to say. Well, the reason why they didn't get to say what they wanted to say is because they didn't have the commitment. And that's not a problem, right? They have to recognize that what they did was the most powerful thing they could have done.
Gotcha.
Right? Just their presence was the opportunity for everyone within, 100-foot radius to have permission to be open to new ideas because you guys were all there in the same room. That's powerful. And you have to take responsibility for the power you have.
Go, girl. You go.
Go! Go Team Slayer!
Tell us about, because I know you work with a site, and tell us about some of the places that people can go that kind of support mindfulness and mindful dating and all that good, mindful relationships, all that good stuff.
The first one I'll mention, of course, is my book site, www.beaslayer.com, BEASLAYER.com. And you can look at the books and tell me what you think and interact with me. I'd love to hear from people. Meetmindful.com is a wonderful conscious dating website if you're looking for a partner that has an open mind about spirituality. That's a great website. In the UK, there's a dating website that I also write for called olderdating.com, and it's a website for people over 40 and dating and integrating the idea of the type of dating that people do here in this day and age is not the same as it was 10 or 20 or 30 years ago when an older person may have started their dating process. So it's all about just mindfulness is awareness, and most of all, it's self-awareness. So I really would love TracyDunblazer.com. I would really love to hear what people think and feel, and I'd love for people who have read my book to let me know, how they've used it. If you go to the website, there are quite a few testimonials for folks who have each chapter of the book gives you some action items, some things that you can do to be effective in relationship to the themes of that chapter. And everyone so far that's spoken to me about it has had some really profound, miraculous responses just from the few things that they've done, like creating an altar with a particular intention, or working with. I have something in the book I call the Slayer's Motto, and it's basically an affirmation that you keep forefront in your mind, and you can repeat to yourself to keep your consciousness in awareness of how you need things to be in your world. So anyway, I would really love to have people's feedback, and the book is a really useful tool to, you don't have to read a whole chapter. You can open the book to any page and get something that's useful.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I'm sorry for interrupting, but that's actually also how do you think people can get the most out of your book? S with an S.
Buying it.
Well, yeah.
I mean I mean that I'm not even being sarcastic, believe it or not. Having the book in your presence, whether or not you look at it ever, we energetically and emotionally receive information on a spiritual level. And so having the physical manifestation of the book, you're going to receive some of the information, not even looking at it. If you can read it.
I have a whole library of
I know.
I swear I get through osmosis.
Absolutely. That is my point. So the other nice thing about it is that you can read a book. I mean, you can read a chapter. You can read a story. There are tons of stories. There are tons of epigraphs, which are quotes from the book, from me, from other thought leaders. So you can look it up, and you look at a page, and there's a gray highlighted epigraph that gives you a little jewel. And that you can use that for your day. You don't have to follow any particular rhythm. You can read a paragraph, and the paragraphs are short, so they're, I designed it specifically for people like me with very short attention spans.
Gotcha.
And to receive it by osmosis. I get so excited I stutter.
Yay! So, Tracy, once again, because we're getting really short on time here, tell everybody about, the site you're working with and the book signing coming up and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to be at Publishing University in Salt Lake City on April 8th and 9th. And on the 9th, I'm going to be at the Gateway Barnes & Noble in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. From 3 to 6 o'clock, and I'd really love to see people out there. Please go to beaslayer.com and write to me with your, thoughts, because I'd love some feedback and just love to hear from you to see what you're going through and what's going on. I'm working on the Demon Slayer's Handbook, a practical guide to karmic relationships, which will be coming out next year. I'm really excited about that. And then I've got Go Tracy Publishing, and so I'm looking to begin publishing other people's work of the same spiritual / memoir / biography genre. So
gotcha. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's it in a very large nutshell.
Awesome. And Tracy, I do want to thank you so much for being on the show this morning. And thanks for helping all of us just kind of understand this process a little bit better. And as I mentioned to all of you earlier out in Radio Land, please visit Tracy's website at www.tracydunblazer.com. That's TRACEDUNBLAZIER.com. And I know you can get to it from there, but also it's also beaslayer.com. Correct, Tracy?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to once again thank all of you listeners out there for hanging out with us this morning. If you want further information about the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show, please visit my website at lisaphoenix.net. That's LISAPHOENIX.net. Or email me directly at info@lisaphoenix.net. Please go to my website and sign up for my Intuitive Insights newsletter, which will also add you to my mailing list. Live with Lisa Phoenix is on every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Pacific. So please tune back in with us next week. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.